leaked in internal Ubisoft email exposes employee chaos after Tencent deal. After Tencent, yo, Tencent bought them out. Like, what's good?
Just a few short hours after I published my video talking about how I'm doubting that Ubisoft is really
Also, as always, this links to the channel, links to the video we're both watching will be in the description. Will be in the description below. This video is by Smash JT, so shout out to him. Always coming out with some banger videos, banger clips, banger things to look into, some knowledge for us to intake, see what's going on in the Ubisoft world or Assassin's Creed world, or in the world, wherever we're looking into. And right now, we just so happen to be looking into the Ubisoft chaos. And so, as always, shout out to Smash JT. Links to his video, links to his channel will both be in the description below. Be sure to check him out. He's got some good shit.
doing well when it comes to Assassin's Creed Shadows, even though they're pushing out there on social media with marketing that this has over 3 million players and people.
Yeah, they're lying. They're lying. They are lying their butts off, and they're trying to get people to like still pay attention to their company. And it's like the disaster is happening over here, but it's like, hey, look over here real quick. Look over here. Look at this wallpaper we put up over this other part of the disaster.
Should be celebrating it. Do we hear news that Ubisoft themselves have announced that they have formed a partnership with Tencent to create a new entity, and Tencent will now have 25% stake in any of the decisions moving forward with the major titles that Ubisoft owns? What's going on, guys?
Yo, Tencent might be like, hey, you need to get that woke shit up out of here. First and foremost, that I don't know what the fuck y'all think with Assassin's Creed Shadows. Matter of fact, we knew this shit would happen, which is why we sat there and let you do it. We sat there and watched you do that shit with a smile on our face because we knew your company would fall, crash, and come crawling, begging to us, to Tencent, Papa Tencent. We knew you'd come. We knew you'd be here, bitch. Just like we thought you would. And we want to make sure you know, ain't no more time for that woke bullshit. You ain't you dragged your own company down through the mud and completely fucked that up. You are not about to drag our company down through the mud and do the same shit. So you better get that woke shit up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's see. Come on, Tencent. But then again, there are some like withdrawals when working with Tencent.
Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. If that wasn't enough, that Tencent is now going to be somebody who's a major stakeholder in the decision-making moving forward, do we hear news that a leaked email has come out of Ubisoft proper from CEO...
I'm guessing he's going to read that to us or go over it with us, and so I don't have to squint and try to force my eyes to read what that says.
Yves Guillemot, and it's not pretty. In fact, many of the employees there are causing quite an uproar, causing another mass email to go out to calm their fears and say, no,
Okay, now I kind of want to read that. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to read this. I feel like he's gonna go over it, or he's like giving us like the TLDR right now. But all right, let me just read the first paragraph. Hello, everyone. My name is Mark. I wanted to follow up immediately with all of you in Montreal, Quebec City. Sherbrooke. Okay, blah 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 blah. What the fuck? The new business unit that is being created. And Sophia after Vives, whatever, email, blah blah blah. First and foremost, I want to emphasize that the agreement we announced is a powerful enabler and an exciting opportunity for Ubisoft. It will help us accelerate our evolution and improve how we make games with greater focus and agility and less DEI forced inclusion. Because, the people who consume your product, we didn't ask for that bullshit to begin with.
Everything's fine, guys. It's going according to plan. There's nothing to worry about, nothing to see here. Everything's gonna be just fine. But some of you are probably gonna be out of a job.
Oh yeah, nah.
Hit that subscribe.
A lot of them are gonna get like, a lot of them probably gonna get replaced. Like I wouldn't be surprised if you walked over to like any of the Ubisoft corporations or like, you know, where the actual offices are and saw a bunch of blue-haired people walking out. I wouldn't be surprised.
Give me a like and check out.
They got their boxes full of, you know, their office supplies and shit like that. Yeah, all of them.
SmashJT.com for the full article breaking down the craziness and chaos that is Ubisoft today. And this is the day that we've all been waiting for, where news drop after news drop after news drop happens. And I can't even keep up with it because Ubisoft is all over the place. And none of it.
Yeah, they've been trying to hide their shit, hide their mistakes, silence people. I heard they were trying to silence some channels that were talking shit about them.
Is really good. This all comes to us from an exclusive report from Tom Henderson at Insider Gaming. Today is becoming quite the day for Ubisoft being in the news. First, their marketing team pushes on social media that everything's going just swimmingly with Assassin's Creed Shadows having over 3 million players.
It's a lie.
And just a few hours later, we hear that everything is on the verge of collapse. In a major shakeup that's raising eyebrows across the entire gaming industry, Ubisoft has officially partnered with Chinese tech giant Tencent to form a new subsidiary company focused on key franchises like Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six.
They said, you fucked your own shit up. Give me that shit. Let me show you. You know what? You can't do this shit without supervision. You can't do this shit. Because let's say, how does Tencent know? How does Tencent know whether or not the Ubisoft beforehand, before they acquired it? What if Ubisoft was planning to make an Assassin's Creed Shadow, was planning to make an Assassin's Creed game based in China, and China was not about to have them disrespecting their culture, their religion, all that. Nah, China was not about to have them play that game. They were like, nah, bro, we're gonna buy you out right now. You can't do shit with us without us monitoring you anymore. Excuse me, you gotta keep that that bullshit out of your system. You feel me? So when it just come up, if you can't spit in the moment, you better find a moment. Get all that mucus and all that bullshit out of your system.
Spoke about the potential of this happening like a week ago or so, maybe a little bit over that, talking about how there were rumors that Ubisoft was in talks with Tencent and other major corporations to maybe take on some of the burden in case the games don't do as well as they hoped, that they'd still be able to be around because Ubisoft is in so much debt right now that they can't possibly take that on themselves again. And here we find ourselves with it actually coming to fruition. While Ubisoft's leadership is, of course, touting this move as an exciting opportunity because they gotta always sell everything they do, anyone
gotta save face too. Gotta save face. You don't want to be like, oh shit, look, we fucked up, and we need a foreign company to come in and, you know, bail our asses out.
Who's anyone knows well better than that, and the leaked email that we got from CEO Yves Guillemot tells everyone a very different story. One that employees are deeply concerned about their future, or lack thereof. And here is the other foot that everyone was expecting to drop. Yves' email starts.
Before he gets to that, obviously it's not, the employees were just doing their thing. They were just being employees and clocking into work, doing what they were told to be doing. But it's the management, the upper management, who is at fault for all of this, all the straight up destruction of the company. So it's also, that being said, it's also those same upper management people's fault that these people that were just clocking in, were just coming into work and clocking in to do their job, are losing jobs. So for the people of the normal people that didn't want to really push this type of shit, like woke shit, like Assassin's Creed and shit like that, all those who didn't want to push that, And for all those who were just coming into work every day, clocking in, doing their job, I'm sorry if they got fired. I'm sorry they got fired. You know what I'm saying? I have sympathy for them. But the executives, the upper management, I ain't got no sympathy for them. Let's be real. I mean, none of them probably got fired. I mean, none of their pensions, their 401ks, none of all this other shit that they got ready, just sitting on the side waiting for them, just to make sure that they good. You know what I'm saying? Their whole little life nest is just unbothered. You know what I'm saying? They might lose a couple of nuts out that bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's about it. Then what? Like they're not these other people that have to go into work and clock in every day and put in those hours, bro. Like they're not them. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit that they have to fire a couple people to keep their company afloat, that they failed and that they fucked up. It's so messed up, bro.
Starts off saying, "Hey everyone, I'm pleased to share an important announcement." They go over talking about this milestone in Ubisoft's history, following the process of reviewing different strategic options for Ubisoft's future, because it couldn't possibly be that they're making poor decisions, the company went woke, and they're not selling games to people that want to actually buy those. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's just, changing economic times and, struggles of being a business. It's tough stuff.
Damn you consumers for not trying to consume the pig slop we want to give you.
The email goes on to talk about how Tencent is investing 1.16 billion euros into Ubisoft's new entity that's being formed here, and the terms of the partnership are straightforward, establishing a dedicated subsidiary within Ubisoft that will bring together Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six, and Far Cry. Tencent will be a 25% shareholder of the new subsidiary, with the aim of boosting these franchises to become undisputed global icons. Then he goes into a bunch of fluff saying, oh, it's all good news and everything's happy and rainbows and butterflies and nothing to worry about here. Until you get to the bottom half of the email where it says, "I want to express my deepest gratitude for your resilience, tenacity, courage, and creativity, all the qualities that make Ubisoft a truly unique company and helped us overcome challenging period over the last few years. The coming months will be dedicated to shaping our next chapter. Of course, this new step in our transformation will raise many questions, including on an individual level. We are committed to keeping you regularly informed, answering your questions, and providing visibility on the next steps."
Meaning, like, yeah, a lot of you about to get fired. You know what I'm saying? Clear your desk. You probably already know who the fuck you are getting fired. I don't know. It was your idea that came up with that one thing? Nah, hell no. You better get your ass up out of this flight, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Tencent ain't had nothing to do with that, bro. You better get your ass out of this bitch. But, jokingly, all jokes aside, all non-jokes, morbid jokes, whatever jokes aside, the execs ain't hurting. They're just like, yeah. As a matter of fact, how do we know some of the Ubisoft execs didn't have a deal with Tencent prior to all this? Let's go conspiracy theory mode real quick. How we know that Ubisoft didn't have a secret deal or meeting something with Tencent prior to all this? Like, Tencent was like, all right, check this out. We're going to buy your company out, right? Your company is on a slow decline. What y'all got? Like, fucking Tom Clancy's shit. Y'all got Assassin's Creed. What else y'all got? Really? Like, come on. You need us. So you can either have your company slowly die out without our support in the end to be there to save your ass, or you can bleed out your own company for us and just drive the stocks down or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So because we're gonna buy it at this price. I'm not budging on that. Y'all gonna need it. Y'all gonna want it. You know what I'm saying? You investors, all y'all can have time to prepare to like jump ship whenever you're ready. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna need you to bleed out your company for a couple years. You know what I'm saying? Put out some shitty titles. And, the last title, no. That's gotta be the worst. It's really gotta show that the company is in a terrible position terrible leadership, terrible management. It's really, y'all really gotta like put your own face in some shit. You know what I'm saying? And when that happens, and when you guys are donezo, you know what I'm saying? We'll pay you half now of what we're gonna pay you back then later on when that happens, when everything goes through. And so like the Ubisoft execs are sitting there and they're just chilling, like, damn, our company is really gonna fall off in 10 years. But they'll say they buy it up in 8 years. They'll say they buy it up in 8 years and they'll give us that much, and all we gotta do is like kind of like drive its stocks down a bit. Bet.
And that is pretty obvious corporate speak for, yeah, we're going to be reviewing what people do here, and if it's not something that we need, your job's probably going to be cut.
You're
Now, if you've ever
fired.
worked in a corporate environment, when something like a consolidation happens, it can throw the entire workday into complete chaos, and you lose focus on what you're even supposed to be doing, and you start chatting with your coworkers about the future prospects of your employment there. And this all caused a massive uproar reportedly throughout all of Ubisoft. So bad to the point that they had to follow up that initial email with another one. These employees at Ubisoft are extremely concerned about their jobs right now. The very thing I said would be happening is
It's
happening.
happening.
With Gimlet's memo causing
Vindicated?
quite the immediate stir within the company, prompting a follow-up email from Ubisoft's Chief Studios and Portfolio Officer, Marie-Sophie de Wobert, aiming at calming the fears, telling people, no, it's not what you think, even though it's pretty much exactly what he said. Hello, everyone. I want to follow up immediately after Uvez's email regarding the new business unit that is being created. First and foremost, I want to emphasize that the agreement we announced is a powerful enabler and an exciting opportunity for Ubisoft.
This is what I was reading earlier. It's the same shit.
Oh, not for you, the employees. It's for the greater good of the company. And your job is probably going to be lost because of it. But hey, don't worry about it because Ubisoft. Not that anyone's really surprised at this point. I mean, Ubisoft has been bleeding money for years. Some could even argue decades. It has been a straight fall down as their stock has gone. And all they have along the way is indoctrinated employees, people coming in that are activists, not gamers, trying to push propaganda instead of people that actually have a passion for gaming.
And that is where the mistake lies. Hire the people that deserve to be there and have the passion to be there and just want to do their work, do like the work. Not people that have an agenda to push. You don't need that shit. Nobody asks for that shit. Like, fuck off. Like, not in my games. Like, make a YouTube channel. Talk your shit on your platform. Do your thing over there. Leave my games alone.
Like, sure, there are a few developers in there that do care about the gaming, that do have a passion for what they're doing, but it's been overrun by activists, people that go in with a different ideology and intention outside of just making a great game. In fact, they go in with the intention of, how do I make this game about me? How do I make this game a way to push a message or agenda? And it's just all the same ideology pushing together. The nose ring mafia, as I call it, that all think the same way. And while they claim to be diverse all the time, the one thing they're always lacking.
First off, what the fuck is this? Look, we're all inclusive. Or look, DEI. Is this? I should be getting a raise for this, right? Man, like, what the fuck is this shit, bro? Who talked you into doing this? And why? What did they threaten? What did they have on you? Your career? They threatened your career and you obliged?
Is diversity of thought. The one thing you need to understand that your customers don't want slop. At the bottom of her email, it says, "Of course, this brings some uncertainty and questions. Right now, we may not have all the detailed answers, but we are committed to communicating with you transparently and regularly. Supporting you through this transition is the top priority for your local and your global leadership teams. Don't hesitate to reach out to them to stay tuned locally. Usual or dedicated studio times will be also good forums to keep you updated and answer your questions." Read, "Tencent is not going to want to deal with the bloat that is nearly 20,000 Ubisoft global employees worldwide, and they're
God
probably going to be
damn.
cutting a good amount of those people that, let's be honest, that are pretty much dead weight in a company that is billions of dollars in debt. It's probably not the best idea to continue paying these people that..."
Bro, it's gonna be like when Elon Musk took over Twitter. Not what was it? Twitter, X, formerly known as Twitter or whatever. Yeah, it's gonna be like when Elon Musk took over, when he just walked in and said, "All right, everybody out." It's pretty much gonna happen like the same for Ubisoft. Like Tencent about to walk in and be like, it smells like some bitch in here. I mean, all y'all get the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I say that jokingly, but like to the people who actually like lost their jobs, obviously that's not. I don't want to like laugh at you. I feel some type of way for you losing your job. I'm sorry for that shit happening. But damn, if you ain't see that shit coming, I don't know what to say to you. You should have been saving up in your own little nest egg, to be honest.
aren't bringing in any money. But here's the concern that I have for all of this: the broader implications of Tencent's deeper foothold in Western gaming, and it can't be ignored. It's very concerning to see China take up so much land in the gaming space, but to be honest, the way Canada has been going woke with their approach to gaming in recent years, this was the only natural course of evolution for it to go. Like, I gotta be honest, did these people expect to just make whatever they wanted to make and it would just sell because it exists? Because that's not how the open and free marketplace works. You need to create a product that customers want to purchase. And in this case, if you work at a video game company, you need to make a video game that people are excited to play. You
Supply and demand. People have been talking for a long time now about how certain games suck and they're too woke and they're like y'all had y'all's chance, man. Like, but yeah, it's just straight up supply and demand. And Tencent saw all the trash, all the shit that happened just now, and so they're gonna want to actually fix that instead of trying to force more woke shit. But yeah, I mean, supply and demand. If right now the demand is rising and the supply is falling, so if Tencent buys out, parts of Ubisoft and continues to grow in the sphere, then give it in due time. What can happen? Well, Tencent will have a majority kind of space in the gaming sphere, and who knows what that will look like. You know what I'm saying?
You can't just say, "Hey, we made a game, you have to buy this, and if you don't, you're a bigot," because that doesn't work with an audience that works hard for their money and wants to be entertained in a way that doesn't try to indoctrinate them in some weird cultish ideology.
Also, why does everybody think shaming tactics works? It's just shaming tactics. Like what? You don't actually know who I am. You've never walked through my shoes, so those shaming tactics are just gonna be like, all right, bet. Cause that you're just showing me the image of me that you have in your mind. That's not me though.
Survival of the fittest. They were making games for no audience and fighting against paying customers, and that's not a winning strategy for anybody. And it has to make you wonder if this conspiracy theory coming from China pushing woke ideology is a way to be able to scoop up all these companies at a lower price, because it's something people have been floating around for a while, and now we see it coming to fruition
Didn't I
just
just
like
say
people
something like that
predicted.
recently?
And I don't know, it's kind of hard not to put two and two together and get four here. Ubisoft may be calling this the beginning of a new chapter, but for many of its developers, it feels more like a ticking time bomb. And I can't blame them. As the dust settles, it remains to be seen just how much Ubisoft's identity
Real quick, conspiracy theory time. conspiracy theory, or we're just gonna dig way too far into this. Actually, maybe not that far, but anyway, Tencent ends up gaining the majority vote or majority space in Western gaming sphere, right? This could also slowly allow them to push propaganda into Western games. It'll start out just like at first, nobody will really notice it. Just be like a little something, something here and there. Nobody really notice it. But as time progresses, so will their balls have dropped, so to speak, and they would put more, Chinese propaganda into Western games, kind of preparing us for an overall takeover. I mean, we've already feminized our men, and it's almost like successfully declining fucking lying. You know what I'm saying? So now all you have to do is get into their mind. Well, continue to dig into their mind, but get to a point in their mind where it's like they accept that you own them. It's only a matter of time. This is kind of what could be conspiracy theory going on. You feel me?
And workforce will survive this Tencent transition, if any, because I got a feeling there is a massive reckoning coming for Ubisoft right now that many of the employees aren't even prepared for. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want more information, check out smashjt.com for the full article. I will link this in the description below. If you appreciate what I'm doing, hit that join button. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.
Smashing. Yo, shout out to Smash JT. Great video once again. It still makes me question things. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, with my little conspiracy theories to the side, where we're just as we're, you know what I'm saying? But if that shit happens in the future, don't say I didn't tell you so. You know what I'm saying? It might take a couple hundred years. You might not be here. But don't say I didn't tell you so. Anyway, as always, links to Smash JT, his channel, and the video just watched will both be in the description below, so be sure to check him out. And as always, don't forget to do those 3 things I like to ask you to do, and like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell for more videos. Yeah. You know what it is after that, in case I don't see you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Peace. Much love to you.